Welcome to This Is It, where we explore the enigmatic and the unexplained. Tonight, we take you to a lavish evening of decadence and surrealist imagery, an event that still raises eyebrows today, the Surrealist Ball of 1972, held at Château de Ferrières by Baroness Marie-Hélène de Rothschild. A night of opulent masks, cryptic invitations, and dreamlike symbolism. But was it just an extravagant gathering of high society, or was something deeper at play? The Château de Ferrières, about 15 miles outside Paris, is no ordinary estate. Built in the 19th century for the powerful Rothschild family, this grand mansion has witnessed events both magnificent and mysterious. But none quite like the night of December 12, 1972. The hosts of the evening were Baron Guy de Rothschild and his wife, Marie-Hélène. A couple well known in European aristocracy, not just for their wealth but for their influence. Their marriage had already made headlines. Marie-Hélène, not born into the Jewish faith, was the first high-ranking Rothschild to marry outside of tradition. And it was Marie-Hélène's vision and artistic flair that truly made this ball legendary. Guests received a curious invitation. The text, written in reverse, requiring a mirror to read it. This peculiar detail has been interpreted in many ways. Some see it as simply adding to the surrealist theme. Others suggest a deeper meaning, one linked to the concept of inversion, often associated with esoteric traditions. As guests arrived, they were met with an eerie sight, the Château de Ferrières, illuminated to look as if it were engulfed in flames. Inside, servants dressed as cats lounged on the grand staircase, leading guests into a maze of cobweb-like ribbons. Those who lost their way could call for assistance, but only from the silent, watchful cats. But why cats? And what was the significance of these surreal elements? The attendees in costumes Among the attendees were some of the biggest names in art, fashion, and cinema. Salvador Dalí himself, whose paintings seemed to come to life that night. Audrey Hepburn, her head trapped inside a birdcage. And other guests with faces obscured by apples, an unmistakable nod to Magritte the Son of Man. The Baroness herself? She wore a stag's head, with tears of diamonds streaming from its eyes. The dinner was no less unusual. Plates lined with fur, dolls and taxidermied animals scattered across the tables. And at dessert, a life-sized nude woman sculpted entirely out of sugar, laid upon roses. Even the menu descriptions were cryptic, with dishes like postcoital sadness goat cheese and extra lucid soup. Beyond its opulence, the night was filled with symbols that many believe hold deeper significance. The chateau's black and white checkered floors, a pattern long associated with Freemasonry. The elaborate masks and eerie, dreamlike atmosphere. Some see clear parallels to the masked ball scene in Eyes Wide Shut, a film shot at another Rothschild property, Mendmore Towers. The servants in cat costumes, feline symbolism and submission. Throughout history, cats have been associated with mystery, independence, and even the occult. In ancient Egypt, they were revered as guardians of hidden knowledge. In modern esoteric circles, felines symbolize duality, both predator and prey, both worshipped and hunted. At the Surrealist Ball, the silent, cat-costumed servants guided guests through an eerie maze. Their presence could be seen as an inversion of power. Those who normally serve were now the gatekeepers to the experience. But were they merely part of the surrealist aesthetic, or did they represent unseen forces controlling access to deeper truths? The checkered floor, the path of duality. Inside the chateau, guests walked upon an unmistakable black and white checkered floor, a pattern strongly associated with Freemasonry. In Masonic tradition, this design symbolizes duality, light and dark, good and evil, knowledge and ignorance. Initiates must symbolically walk this floor to gain deeper understanding, marking their path through secrecy and enlightenment. Was this detail simply a nod to classic European architecture, or did it signify something more, a silent acknowledgement of hidden knowledge? Audrey Hepburn's birdcage helmet, the prison of the mind. Among the guests, Audrey Hepburn stood out in a particularly unsettling costume. Her head was enclosed in a delicate birdcage. The caged bird has long symbolized restriction, of thought, of expression, of personal freedom. It represents an artist, admired and adored yet ultimately confined, unable to escape unseen forces that dictate their fate. Was this an artistic statement about celebrity and control? Or did it hint at something more, an acknowledgement of how power operates behind the scenes? And then, of course, the unsettling presence of baby dolls and ritualistic imagery. Was this merely surrealist art at its finest, or something more? The Surrealist Ball of 1972 remains a subject of fascination and speculation. Was it just an extravagant evening of high society indulgence, or a night coated with hidden messages? Today, we are surrounded by a flood of esoteric and occult imagery, no longer hidden in private gatherings but displayed openly in mainstream culture. What was once reserved for the secretive circles of high society now plays out before millions, woven into the fabric of music videos, major sporting events, and award ceremonies. From elaborate performances at high-profile galas to the unsettling displays of artists like Marina Abramović and celebrities such as Lady Gaga, we see echoes of something ancient. Ritualistic dinners featuring food shaped like human bodies, performances that mimic acts of sacrifice, and themes of death and rebirth presented under the guise of avant-garde art, these elements are impossible to ignore. Major pop culture spectacles increasingly resemble elaborate ceremonies, where symbols of initiation, submission, and transformation take center stage. In comparison, the Surrealist Ball of 1972, with all its cryptic details, now seems almost playful, a theatrical masquerade rather than a direct manifestation of something darker. But was it truly just an extravagant jest, or was it a glimpse into something that has only grown bolder with time? If you want to see more of these connections brought to light, more hidden layers of history and symbolism revealed, be sure to subscribe to ThisIsIT. Until next time, keep your eyes open.